I've been walking up this trail for a while now. I'm posted up under this hemlock tree. I'm gonna kind of look at Onyx and figure out my swing for the day. Today's goal is just to locate one. Last time I hunted in here, Halloween weekend, there was definitely one good one in here. Whether he's been killed since then, I don't know. I found some good scrapes in his track. He was a 180-pound track. Anyways, I'm not gonna get real aggressive and cover a lot of ground today. I just want to make a solid, couple mile loop and back to the road, and then hopefully that'll give me some intel for tomorrow. Obviously, if I find a fresh track, I'm gonna try to kill him, but yeah, see what today turns up. And like I said, I'm not gonna kill myself today. I'm just gonna save my legs. Tomorrow's gonna be they'll be laying tracks down, they'll be blowing wind hard, and tomorrow is gonna be a good killing day. I came across a track. It's not real big. It looks like it's either a big doe or like a 2-year-old buck. I'm gonna follow it, see what else it leads me to. Either way, even if it's just a little 4-pointer or something, I got 2 tags in Vermont, so I'm not really worried about chasing a big buck. So alright, Sunday morning. A little bit of a detour. The normal route I take was blocked off. A tree come down and rip lines and poles and everything down, so running a little bit late, but that's alright. Those guys are working, I'm out playing, so I don't mind taking the scenic route. But it was just cold enough to snow yesterday, and it was a heavy wet snow, and then it dropped to, I think it said 23 where I'm headed. So I don't know what that did to it. if I'm gonna be on a crust all day or if it's gonna be just a little bit of a crust and loose powder underneath. I don't know. It depends on how fast it froze. If it was a gradual, you know, the temperature dropped gradually, it's not going to be that bad. If it dropped real fast and locked it right up, then yeah, we're screwed. But it's supposed to be pretty good wind today, upper teens with higher gusts, so we'll see what happens. Probably gonna have to stop here in a minute, take a leak, so I'll check the snow and see what it is. All right, gearing up. Good wind today. Snow is good. Nice and quiet, a lot better than I expected it to be. So this is what you call a deer killing day. So hopefully we find his track and catch up to him. When I was up in here Halloween weekend for muzzleloader, I found this oak stand, and I think that might be a good place to go pick up a track today. So I'm gonna walk up here and poke down in there and see if I can find a track in those oaks, or maybe they're in there feeding right now. So hopefully the wind is right for it. That oak stand I was talking about, I marked it on Onyx when I found it because I thought that'd be a good place just to know about, because there's oaks scattered through this piece, but they're not everywhere. So walking up the road just about to where I'm gonna pitch down in, and there's a buck track crossing the road heading up the hill, and he's coming from, guarantee you he's coming from those oaks. It's a nice buck, kind of similar track to the one I was tracking you know, back on Halloween. So I'll show you this track here. He's heading up in there. Real windy day. Got a good chance on this guy. It's exciting. I'm gonna go along on him and see what happens. Well, I jumped him. 9:24. Siding up this hill. I could see where he stepped, and he was probably looking back his backtrack. I think he was about to bed down behind this boulder, and he must have saw me coming, jumped. So got me a fire going. I'm gonna toast my sandwich and wait a half hour and continue on him. Gonna melt that cheddar. Well, I was wrong. He it must have been, because the wind was blowing towards the direction I was going. So what I saw for running tracks must have been him. He might have smelled me a little bit. I got close. I just jumped him out of his bed and I got to look at him. I didn't get a shot, but I got to look at him, and he's got, I mean, he's got 4 on one side, I think. He's a big buck. But now I know how old the track is. I'm going to give him a half hour, 40 minutes. Go after him. I came to that second bed. He's doing a really good job of staying downwind to me. I mean, everywhere he goes, the wind's blowing that direction. So, it's like 1:30 now. I'm freezing cold. And doing this slow isn't working for me, so I'm just gonna hustle on him and hope I catch him in some sort of opening where I can shoot at him. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I'm gonna do. So we go with another deer. They went way up on this mountain and they've come off. He seems to want to stay with the deer. Like the tracks are running, and he's for the most part long striding or just stepping. But if he gets off from it, he'll cut and get back on it. So I don't know if what I'm looking at is him chasing a doe, or they're running from my presence. It's hard to tell right now, but I'm just gonna keep trucking on him until something happens. Well, the old boy beat me today. Wish I'd have been paying more attention, but that's how it goes. A mile and a half back to the truck, or back to the road. Closest road I can get to is a mile and a half. It's a straight back up. I'm gonna have quite the quarter mile or so. That's it for the rifle. Maybe see one on the way out, who knows? Definitely have my eyes peeled, but I gotta get going. So, see you at the truck. What a monster. I mean, the brief look I got at him, I saw, well, kind of like, I was above him, so I could see the width, and he was probably 18-20 inches wide, and his left side, I guess it was, looked like it had 4 on one side. Could have been 5. I don't know. I mean, I've been J-hooked so many times, which, for those who don't know, it's where, because a deer will always watch its backtrack, because they get chased by coyotes all year long. So they'll go, say, in a straight line, and they'll go off like this, and they'll bed here, and they'll watch their backtrack. It's happened to me so many times that I almost have a tendency to look off to my side more than straight ahead. In this case, he was literally straight ahead of me, and I got within 15 yards of him, and I had my gun at my side, and by the time, well, I heard him blow, and by the time I figured out where it came from, threw the gun up, took the safety off, and shouldered it. He was gone. And I ran down. And another thing that sucks about this too, it was open hardwoods, and I ran down a little ways, not really that far, like 40 yards, and I saw a glimpse of him, and then he was gone. So I didn't continue. If I had kept running, after I waited 40 minutes. After I waited and I went down his running track, he stopped, and you could see he was standing there. So if I had kept going, I might have seen him standing right there looking back or whatever, and I might have had another shot. But hindsight's 2020. This is it for firearm season for New Hampshire. So if he makes the winter and the summer and all that, be a good one to go after next year. Lesson learned. I should have been going a little slower probably. I knew he was gonna bed down. And that's another thing that hurts too, is I thought I jumped him, but I didn't. He just, maybe he smelled me and bounded off for a little bit. But so I waited that half hour and I had my fire and whatever, and meanwhile he's bedded like 250, 300 yards away or something. So I guess now I'm gonna follow the running tracks out further to make sure that I'm the one that jumped him, because it was only like 10 bounds and he went back to walking. I didn't know that because I only followed it out for like 4 or 5. So that's gonna hurt for a couple days, but it's all right. It's the name of the game. I love the game. I'm gonna continue to play the game, and I'm gonna continue to fail at the game. One of these days, I'm gonna win the game on a big buck like that. But for now, muzzleloader, Vermont muzzleloader. I gotta work next week. Vermont muzzleloader for next weekend, and then maybe mass muzzleloader. We'll see.